doing some math.
Well, where did we have?
Okay. There.
The craziest thing that ever happened to him.
Think about that.
Vancouver. You know
Having
Vancouver?
5 children. That's the real truth.
All across the
I can't think about
You want to tell any of your broken bone stories, maybe? Are any of those good ones to?
not particularly good.
Or skiing? Okay.
Kind of goofy, except that, well, you know about my broken bone, and I cried. I wanted to sleep with my parents, and they didn't know why, but they let me. It was because my arm hurt so much. And then the doctor, who was a friend of ours, came for dinner, and he looked at me, and he was a stuffy doctor, and he said, "That child has a broken arm." So my brother put it in the thing. Yeah, and it works. Bends a little wrong, but it works.
Let's see, which one's the broken one?
I think it was my left one, I'm not sure. They're kind of the same, I think.
They look pretty similar.
Yeah, we did a pretty good job.
Your brother?
Write everything you know.
Actually, he
Write
my
everything you
finger,
know.
too. I broke my finger.
Write everything you know there.
It was one of these. This is.
Yeah, write everything you know.
I'm listening to Grammy.
Did you break any bone?
I never have.
No?
Who has broken a bone in our family?
Daddy.
Oh, Daddy, yeah. But how about kids?
Pop has broken collarbone.
Who did?
James, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
You already said it.
Popey.
How do you break your collarbone?
Hope was skiing and her helmet was too big.
Oh.
And then when he fell over, it jabbed right here.
That's what skiing, my thumb got caught and went back like that. I still got, I don't know if it's still there, I've had a wire going from here to here to keep it from falling off. So I could thumb. Right.
She has a wire holding her thumb on. She broke skiing. Otherwise it would... Oh, it was in Quebec?
Yeah.
Oh, when you were living in New York. You drove up there. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Write everything you know
My
there.
mom broke her
Daddy,
thumb skiing.
Write.
Yeah.
Write everything you know.
Yeah, exactly. I guess it's a pretty common
Write
injury.
everything you know. Write
Hey, bud.
everything you know.
I will.
Come on.
Any childhood stories? We got 2 childhood stories from Frank.
Oh, yeah.
Who's Frank?
A drug delivery story, and
What I miss on the
audio?
You need to explain that to your kids?
from the pharmacist delivery story, and then his train, and then living on the train, living up in the mountains, I think,
Spend all your pay on candy.
doing the train, keeping the train.
More things. I need more things.
Okay.
Usually end up
No more
Do you have ideas for stories to get her
Well, I
going?
remember my girlfriend who had
I'm
a,
not giving you
when
a
they were
Mom, just call me when
old enough to drive,
Call
she
me
was driving
over here when you're
school.
done.
They used to drive.
But
Her
make
brother
sure
was
it's
blind.
alive.
Her brother was what?
Her brother was blind, he's a little guy,
Wait, Mommy,
and
one
used
more
to take him to
thing.
the blind school, and she would drop him
I
across the
want you
street
to draw these.
and then
like
tell him when the car
All
was
of these
coming.
types of questions
Except
and equals.
she didn't always. She would, poor guy was blind, totally blind, and she would tell him, "Oh, okay, you can go now," and it was
You
empty.
keep on doing
And there's
that.
no cars coming. And then she said, no, stop. I'm sorry. But there were no cars coming. She would play this poor,
Just
on this poor kid,
her brother.
Keep on doing it all
little
along.
brother.
You would never tease your little brother, would you, Ev?
If he was blind now.
Tell about your brothers.
Hmm?
Or tell about your brother.
My brother?
Yeah.
Wait, how many brothers do you have? 4?
Two brothers. They used to play lots of tricks on me. We'd be in the basement and I would say, "Mom," and she'd yell down, "Boys, stop it." tested them a lot. I remember one time, you know, I had
Any more?
laundry tubs downstairs.
Can you
Turned
pass
on
me
the
the most?
tap and held my head under there till they stopped. Promised I wouldn't bother them anymore. So I didn't for about 10 minutes.
Under the hot tap?
They were good to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say you were close to. Were you close to both of them?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So, they played great tricks on me. Have me blindfold me, stand me on a board, and then say, we're going to lift you, we're going to lift you, lift you, lift you. And I was blindfolded.
Done yet? Mommy,
So
hurry up.
they would, and it would shake, and they'd lift me up like that. And then they'd say, okay, jump, jump. And I'm terrified to jump. They said, jump. And so I was so afraid of them. I finally jumped. I almost broke my kneecaps because I was this far from the ground. They were down there going like this, like they were above their heads. Somehow they lay down so they thought their heads were down here. They had me blindfolded. They used to play all sorts of tricks like that on me.
Wait, where are we? We're in Vancouver, in Canada? Yeah. Oh, I have one. What's the difference between Canada and America? Growing up in Canada, or what's the difference between Canada and America, like culturally, or what's it like? What's it like to be a Canadian?
Keep on waiting.
You
Keep
answer
on
that
waiting.
one.
Very much less extreme. Very, very
What did you say?
dull.
Take this one.
Doll?
That's not what I want you to
Well,
do.
I would say duller than
I want you to do like
what you expect
just
from
this.
Americans.
None of
Americans
this. Just that.
are loud,
And these.
talk loud.
Like
You
that.
gotta be careful, because when I remember growing up, things came to Canada from the States. The States was much more advanced. Canada was still a colony
This one.
at the time,
Really?
and
It by
it, Canadians felt
that by itself.
second to Americans. I
He's
believe.
speaking for himself.
I am
Thank
speaking
you.
I'm speaking for myself, yeah.
Mm.
But that's the radio, all the stuff came from the States. That's changed. That has completely changed now.
Do you want to
Canadians
guess?
feel equal, if not superior.
Fair enough.
But I
answer
definitely
will answer for you.
feel that there was
What's
uh,
19
A gap.
plus 20? 19
not as
plus
advanced.
20.
Oh,
Not
19
nearly
plus
I just want to see 19 plus 20.
39.
well
That's right.
Were you proud to move to America? Was going to living in America a particular goal of yours, or it just sort of worked out? That's just where your job took you.
It was an accident.
Yeah. Okay. That wasn't. You weren't shooting to be in America.
Divide by
We
3. 75 divided by 3.
accepted a job from Lindy Canada,
One left over.
and they said, what we want to do, we want to send you down
No,
for
it's
2 years and
25.
11 months into the
Yeah.
States. They could get a job passport or
Yeah.
The work permit.
a work
He
permit.
doesn't know
These are
math.
hard.
They need to learn how to do
Here's
some
the
research,
Divided.
industrial gas
What's 100
application.
divided by 10?
So we'll send you down there.
Huh?
Okay, that's all. That's all. I'm not doing any more.
So there's,
Okay. Okay.
Do him. He's the mathematician.
He's in the middle of the story though, you gotta wait a second.
oh, sorry.
Okay.
So, anyway,
Mommy, outside for you.
this is what we had planned. Well, they said you're gonna have to get a visa. Here,
I'm sorry.
take these letters and go down to the Vancouver, whatever it was. There was an office, a U.S. government office in Vancouver. Go down and give them these and tell them the visa. Well, I thought I needed a visa, so I went down, going through this stuff, and the guy said, "Oh, you've got the job and all this stuff." So the upshot of all of this was when we ended up, Joy and I and Murray went down to Toronto after I graduated, and I went into the Toronto American Embassy or whatever it was, and gave them all this stuff that I got. They said, "Oh my God, I got the wrong visa. Instead of a temporary visa, I got a green card." So they said, "Go back to where you're staying. We'll get back to you."
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, this is, they said, "Well, we'll just go ahead the way it is." So we took these visas and went down to Buffalo and got a house and things, and the 2 years and 11 months came, and Canada didn't have any idea what the hell to do about us. They had they hadn't done any planning for an R&D facility or anything. And we never heard all of this. The time just passed. Time just passed. And I was very happy with the work. I was doing interesting R&D, and we never really talked about it. But then Lyle was here. There was 2 kids. And Janet, you were pregnant with Janet.
I don't know.
After 3 years. And it just passed. And so we said, and then over time, we said,
You're like, hey, I got a green
we
card.
should get a citizenship. By then we had 5 kids. 1976, all American. Well, Murray was Canadian.
Yeah.
Murray was Canadian, but 1976, he had changed citizenship. And so we went and got our citizenship. The kids are Americans, we should be Americans.
No idea.
And rather than just complain about spending so much for school taxes, we can at least vote. So the issue never
There
really,
it is.
It just sort of happened, I
it
guess.
just sort of happened, yeah. But, yeah. So we still have
Time?
ties
Oh,
to
ties.
Canada.
Mhm.
We still do. Got fewer cousins.
Yeah.
No immediate family.
Martin?
Well, yeah, Martin and Maria.
Is he in Canada still, or where does he?
Oh,
He lives.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're still, yeah, well, yeah, I still have cousins. I guess they're another generation down. Yeah.
I have nieces and nephews, right?
Yeah.
Sneak up behind you, it's gonna sneak up on you.
Yes, I do.
You wanted to get one. Tommy, don't mess with the door, please.
Does anybody would Martin ever come stay here?
No.
Or anybody else?
No.
No, okay.
when he was working, one of his major accounts was Texas. But he would never move down.
Oh, just visit, I mean, or just come here to visit.
Tommy, enough. No more. Close the door and leave it. This one is already open over here. Tommy.
No. Well, I have a cousin. I have a cousin, Jim Schick.
Come here, buddy.
He's down here. He was from Winnipeg. He was a cousin from Winnipeg. He lives now in Arizona. And he's been living he's lived in Minnesota, Minneapolis, Seattle.
Sure.
So he spent his whole career down here. Mechanical engineer on
Here's my journal. Oh, it's outside.
tunnels.
Oh,
Bye.
that's plenty.
Okay.
Hi.
Yeah. Blowers, air systems for tunnels and subways and things all over the world. And the company was in Minneapolis. So he's been all over the world. And now he's retired and living in what's Messina? No.
That's not good.
What's Tucson, near Tucson, so
Yeah,
it doesn't matter, he just,
that's where my folks are in Tucson.
Who's in Tucson?
yeah.
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 That's where Martin is?
No, Jim
That's where my
Schick.
cousin Jim is.
Oh, it's like Martin's in Tucson?
No,
Doesn't sound right.
no, he wouldn't make it.
Wow.
He wouldn't make it. And some of the next generation there, they've got like,
Here's some listings
Jim's
for,
got
here's
3 boys or
listings
4
for
boys
animals
or
to look
something,
for.
and they're
Thanks,
all,
buddy.
they're all
Look
in
for those
Canada.
animals out in the
Oh,
park.
yeah.
Yeah, Vancouver,
Look for
Squamish,
octopus.
Mm-hmm.
And even these ones.
My dad runs a hiking club in
Check
Tucson
off all of the ones
called
that you
the
find.
OGHC,
They-
the Old Geezers Hiking Club.
They check all the ones off
the
that you
youngest?
fit.
And he's the youngest, yep,
These are
yeah, it's 77.
77 is
They-
the youngest.
Well,
tomorrow.
he took, 6 of them went hiking
Tomorrow.
2 days ago.
They gotta look for all of these and check all the ones. They check all the ones off that you find
Okay, bye.
tomorrow.
Okay.
There's some real characters in that group.
I can imagine,
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Diamond Jim is one of them.
Don't forget to
Diamond
check
Jim.
them off.
Diamond Jim.
He has a jewel mine in Alaska that he mines. Comes up with big crystals and stuff that he gives to the kids. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Can we go there?
fairly unique,
yeah.
esoteric hobby.
Can we go there, Mommy?
The Diamond Jim's mine in Alaska. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, should go up there and spend a few days.
Can we?
Maybe we can get our own mine. You and me will go panning for gold. Let's do it.
Can we?
Yeah,
Actually,
let's do it.
Yeah.
Next spring break.
now all we need
You'll
is
go
a
to
drill.
Alaska.
Huh?
No. Now all we need is a drill, an axe,
Heavy.
and that's all.
I remember one funny thing that happened to me.
Okay.
Okay, when I was up working on the railroad, and there was 2 Indians invited me to go fishing. That Sunday, we only had one day off, we had Sunday off. So They told me to come up to their place and they'd give me a horse, because you had to go in trails
Hopi?
to find
Come here.
the
Got a good story. Come here.
the lakes where they were.
Hopi.
And so I came to where they were, in a pasture, and
Do you have a
I said, which horse am I gonna have?
Do you have a social shelter?
They showed me a big old gray horse. I didn't know
I don't
anything
know.
about horses.
Might be one of
ridden,
them to death.
I'd ridden them
Let's
in
go
China
look.
because my dad had a cousin who had a woman whose husband was killed in the First World War, and she and her two daughters ran this half-section farm in about 20-25 miles outside of Regina. It was interesting anyway, but I could ride there. They would saddle up a horse with me, and I could go out in the pastures and ride around. The only trouble with that horse was didn't like to be out in the barn.
That sounds like trouble.
So if I was out there, eventually that horse would say, okay, it's time to go back. And it was an old farm workhorse. And so it would just turn around and head for the barn. Nothing I could do could make it stop until it got to the door of the barn, then it would stop. And
Get off now.
I'd get off. That's it. Okay. But
Fishing.
anyway, that wasn't the one I was going to tell you about. But anyway, these Indians fitted this horse out with a saddle and everything. And I got up on the horse and I was wondering, well, these other horses look nicer than the one I had. But anyway, we head out and we had to go quite a few miles, and then it turned into the bush.
Hopi.
Into the bush.
He's
and
telling a horse story. He's
little
riding.
trails,
Poppop's
little
riding a horse
trails.
now.
And I was
Who's
going
on the
along
horse?
fine, and then we got to the first one that had a log across it. And I noticed the Indians had gotten ahead of me, but had stopped and were looking back. And then this horse came up to it. The others just stepped over it. My horse went, woo, jumped it,
Jumped what?
and started to run up the road. I said, oh my God.
Jumped
But anyway,
what?
I
Jumped
held,
over a log.
I held on, so I got to kind of expect
Okay.
it. But then I noticed that they were, this is not particularly nice, but they would swing their legs at the bushes along the way.
I'm going to pull it up and try to hit it.
What they were doing was they were stirring up bees.
Oh, you did it?
What?
They
Intentionally?
would see where there's a nest of some kind, I mean,
Tommy, don't throw it.
wasps or something.
And the horse would stir it up
Tommy.
intentionally?
No, they
Oh.
would purposely stir it up so that then by the time we came, this horse and I came there, they were stopped watching.
Oh, the
And-
Indians stirred up
and
the.
the horse would get bitten
Oh.
and take off. Oh, going through the woods, the bushes, the branches were swinging.
You were their entertainment for the
I was their
afternoon.
entertainment.
Oh no.
Oh, man. They had a great time.
Yeah, how about you?
Well, it was a wonderful trip. We were
Yeah.
in, some lake that was just absolutely primitive. There was logs laying all along the edges of the lake, so you could just walk out. You walk out, and it's simple, it didn't even have to have a reel, just a pole with a hook on it, and a piece of wood, just push it out. Trout would come, yeah, it was just primitive, it was wonderful.
Wow.
It was wonderful.
Wow.
They didn't do it unto me on the way back. They had their fun.
You won't get it.
Great questions, Ev. Glad you came up with those. Joy, have you had any?
What?
Have you had any inspiration?
Me.
Any story inspiration?
Oh, I haven't thought about it. I'm sure I could make up something.
So,
Are you leaving
Watch
tomorrow?
this.
Mm-hmm.
Watch this.
Oh, yeah?
VR.
Oh,
Oh, she's
Going to
not.
Disney. Yeah.
Oh,
We'll get her in.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
For Orlando.
Tomorrow afternoon.
Not for Denver.
Or tomorrow evening.
Oh.
Yeah.
no.